This episode, we leave Kalbarri urgently as we hear my granddad isn't well. It takes us 36 hours to fly back to Melbourne where we're with family during a difficult time. Sam then flies back to Kalbarri as he has a contract to abide by, stopping in Greenhead to swag camp on his way back. The kids and I stayed in Melbourne while he explored Kalbarri, going fishing and seeing whales. He then returned to Melbourne to support us briefly before we all flew back to Kalbarri together. We stayed in a cabin in Jurien Bay to break up the drive back to Kalbarri. It was a crazy 7 weeks and quite an emotional episode to make. Please forgive our footage, some of it was never intended for YouTube. We woke up at 7 a.m. and left Kalbarri at 9 a.m. We had a one-way ticket. We did not know when we were coming back. Living in a caravan and expecting to travel around Australia for 12 months, we didn't pack any luggage. We had our clothing in plastic bags and needed to do click and collect suitcase pickups from 3 different Kmarts in Perth when we got there. Then my family in Perth looked after us and gave us dinner while we prepared for our almost midnight flight.
Western Australia's environment and agriculture from pests and disease.
The kids were utterly exhausted. They slept through the flight, but Sam and I didn't. When we arrived in Melbourne, we didn't realise the car hire place didn't open for 2 hours. It was 3 degrees in the car park. We bundled Henry in his car seat and we waited until they opened. By the time we arrived at Mum's, Sam and I had been awake for 36 hours straight. It was exhausting, but when it comes to family, you do anything.
We went down to the mouth of Patterson River, where we used to love putting our boat in, and thought we'd chuck the drone up.
We spent some more time with family, and the kids were going a little crazy being in a house again. We took them to the Dandenong Ranges for a little bit of nature play and a breath of fresh air.
You can get out in a sec.
Hi. Say cheese.
Come on. Henry. Oh, good boy. My hand too? What happened, Henry? Did you fall over? Henry. This way. What have you got? What's that? What is it? A rock. Come on.
We had to stop for lunch at our favourite cafe in Melbourne, Alinda Cafe in the Dandenong Ranges. I had a super brief catch up with my girlfriend Caroline and Henry's little buddy Hugo, and then we got a phone call. Grandad was deteriorating, and I went to be by his side.
We spent some more time with family.
Shortly after, Sam had to fly back to Kalbarri.
So I jumped on the plane and headed back to Kalbarri. When I got back to the car, I had a flat battery. Luckily, I had jumper leads and I was able to jump it off my second battery. So I'd thrown the swag in the back of the car before we left Kalbarri, knowing that I'd probably stop for a one-nighter on the way back. I picked Greenhead because it was about halfway. I pulled into Milligan's Eco Camping, about 5-10 minutes past Greenhead. It was $20 a night, cash payment on arrival. As I was pulling in, it started bucketing down for a good 3 hours, so I had my dinner in the rotunda and waited for the rain to stop. I woke up in the morning feeling fresh and threw the drone up for a bit of a look around. On my way back to Kalbarri, I pulled into Lehman to get a cheeky coffee and some prawn Twizzlers. When I got back to Kalbarri, I went for a drive down the Murchison River.
Meanwhile, back in Melbourne, Craig and Abby had to leave to go back to Sydney. And then it was Grandad's rosary service, so I honoured him by wearing his footy colours. The kids needed some healing in nature, so we took them to Braeside Park for a play. Braeside Park is located right near Moorabbin Airport, so Henry had fun watching the planes and kept asking if Daddy was on one. Wow.
Meanwhile, back in Kalbarri, my boss took me fishing.
We're on board, we're heading north past Fall Place, ETA 2 p.m. Okay, yeah, 2 p.m. Thank you very much. Over. Okay, lucky one.
We saw some humpback whales breaching, and then we got onto a good patch of bluebone and snapper, bagged out, enough to fill the freezer. It was, yeah. While back in Kalbarri, I had some terrible weather. Then I flew back to Melbourne to be with Janelle and the boys for Grandad's funeral.
When we were kids, Grandad would bring us to Mordialloc on the train to walk under Mordialloc Creek and look at the fish and take us to Mordialloc Pier and the playground. We felt like it was the right thing to take the kids there and share this experience with them.
Those must be old racing boats. The people look really good. Hey, look. Stop when we get to the rocks. Mama!
Alex wrote a beautiful letter to say goodbye to Grandad.
I love you, Granddad. Love Alex and have kids.
We said bye to Craig and Abby again and spent some more time with Nana. Good boy.
That's what Dad went swimming with him. No.
Yeah, we went swimming, but I didn't go because it was too rough.
They were in the water, babe, when you were there.
Yeah, on surface.
Then it was time to say bye to Nanny, Papa, Nana, and Grandma.
Its hooves are too bumpy.
Sam had hired a car when he came back to Melbourne, so we used that to get to the airport and then got ready for our flight. I personally think the night flight was easier with a baby.
Like the other day. The other day there was like 4.5.
It's cute. It's okay. That's an open door.
It's the plane door.
Oh. Hey! Is that it? Dada!
Remember watching this from the other side, watching the planes land and take off, Alex?
Okay.
Ready? We're going up. Being able to see Lucky Bay in Esperance from the height of a plane was absolutely incredible. We landed in Perth in shocking weather. After getting dinner in Perth and driving to Jurien Bay, we stayed in a cabin at Jurien Bay Tourist Park. It was a beautiful little cabin and even had a spa bath. The kids were excited. We just stayed for one night and headed to Kalbarri the next day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notify bell if you want to see when our next episode drops. Thanks for your patience with this episode. This was very personal and particularly challenging to edit even 2 years later. We weren't sure if some of this footage was even going to go on YouTube. Our future episodes showcase more of our adventures. Wait for the end of this particular year where we get towed across Australia when the Ranger breaks down. Next episode, we explore a rainy Jurien Bay and head to the national park to look at the wildflowers. We then arrive back in Kalbarri and spend some time in the town. We head out on a humpback whale charter and then see the beautiful blue holes at sunset. Can't wait for you to check it out.